There we go. I think we are live right now. All right, let me go on here
We can see you.
Okay, all right. Okay, we'll be getting started here in 1 second. Good morning, everybody. Talk to the people, baby.
Hi, everybody.
While I get all of this thing adjusted here, I just want to make sure that we are live the way we need to be. And
I know this technology is something else. I hope you guys are enjoying your Sunday.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
We just left the gun range. That was a lot of fun.
I'll be telling them all of that. Listen,
why?
Because that's private business there.
How's that private?
That's private.
Okay.
That's private lessons. That's private there.
They don't need
to know all of that.
Oh, okay. Well, it was fun nonetheless.
Ooh, it was scary. Put it that way. There we go. All right. It was scary being in there with you.
Okay, so why aren't we on the big screen here?
Are we not on the screen? Are we not on the big screen there? Okay, let me change. Yeah, but we can't see us here. All right, so we should be looking right there at that camera. And we are going to switch this here. Maybe, all right, well, I'll just leave it that way.
Okay.
And at least we know we're there. Okay, there we go. What's happening, world? How we doing? All right, let us know where you're from. You know, if you're in the chat right now, whether you're on Facebook Live, whether you are on Instagram, if you're on Zoom, we've got all of these things going on. I got people from all over the world chiming in right now. We've got people raising their hands and stuff like that. New York, Bermuda, Bronx, Chi-Town, Jamaica, London, New Zealand. New Zealand's in the house. Wow. Naples, Florida's in the house. People from all over the world over there. So welcome to I guess if you want to call it an addition, you call it an addition from our home to yours. And last week was, I want you to describe last week to everybody. What was last week?
Last week was our first episode.
Well, just describe, what was your feelings about last week?
Well, last week you taught everybody that you knew how to apologize, and that you were going to be careful if you went on the golf course, and why it was considered to be social distancing when I didn't understand that because I'm not a golfer. So okay, that's sort of what I got out of it. So we all learned that. We learned that last week. Yeah,
right?
you did a pretty good job teaching people how to apologize. That's
Was there
nice.
Anything else about the chapter? Anything else about last week you want to share with everybody?
No, only that it was fun, and that I needed a new washer and dryer for Corona. So
okay, all right.
So now it's the time to buy new appliances if you need them. You need antibacterial, girl. So that's a really good excuse.
But that's last week. Let's move this week here. Let's move. Somebody finally said I did good HB last week. You know, see now.
How did you do good last week?
No.
Well, you don't grade your own tests anyway. So
no.
Okay.
Well, so here's the thing. Okay, here's what kind of gets me. If there's anything that gets me, is I'm looking at the comments back there and I'm like, where the fellas at? Because last week when we got on here and we talked, and just like this, we have no idea what we're going to talk about. So it's going to come together some kind of way, just how it is. The fellas would text me and support privately, but nobody wanted to go on the chat.
I mean, that's smart.
And all the ladies seemed like they were against me last week.
They were not against you. The problem is I told you about grading your own tests. You don't take the test and grade it too. You take the test and then you let somebody else grade it. That was the issue. So.
Well, it seemed like all the ladies gave me, non-passing grades last week.
Exactly. You failed. I mean, you had to apologize, babe. We need to move on now. That was old stuff.
All right. Well, we'll move on. But I just, fellas, where you at, fellas? Do we have any fellas out there with some courage that don't mind, if you, a guy out there, you don't mind just, I need some support. Okay. I need some support too, because.
Why you don't need support for when you're wrong. That's not how it works, Holton.
I'm not trying to get support for being wrong. I just want some support.
Yeah. You don't need support right now. You just need
women, y'all have women's groups and support groups and y'all stick together and all this women fight the power. Man, we need to come together too. We need some love, because my self-image was a little low after last week's talk.
Ain't nothing wrong with your self-image.
I was down. I felt like I was on an island. I felt like I was by myself. Somebody, Dwayne Johnson, brother, says his brother love. We're here. That's what I'm talking about. Y'all need to show up. Okay. Last week was hashtag girl power.
Exactly. But you started the fight.
I did not start the
Yes, you
fight.
did.
I did not. I didn't even. First,
started it.
I did not start the fight. I just explained to the people what was going on last week, and everybody was just jumping on me. I feel like a victim.
So you're a victim now?
I know. I feel like one.
That is really not a good.
I felt like a victim. I finally understand what it's like. So, that's what it was last week. Anyway,
this is gonna be a long.
We got a whole manpower. That's what I'm talking about. Power to the. That's right. Testosterone power. Hashtag testosterone power today. All right. Today. All right. Anyway, guys, we really enjoyed. I did last week. It was refreshing. And those of you who are tuning in for the very first time right now, I want to share with you why we actually are doing this. No agenda. It's really no agenda. We're not doing this for business, to drum up business. She's always branding, but it is from our house to yours. And I probably purposely, I did something that I shouldn't have done. I purposely did not wear what I normally wear around the house.
You're admitting that you did something wrong, child.
Hold on, no.
Is it like President's Day or something?
No, I did not say I did something wrong.
You said something you probably shouldn't have done.
I said
those are words
purposely.
I've never seen come out of your mouth, honey.
I purposely didn't wear any branded gear.
Oh, that's what you meant. Okay, well, I mean,
yeah, I purposely didn't wear any
that's okay.
branded gear.
I'm repping for Vibe today, you guys.
Okay. Anyway, because that's not what it was about. This hour, or supposed to be 30 minutes or hour, whatever it is, hour. Let's say hour. Okay. Because if y'all notice, she got a little long-winded last week, and that's why the show went on for an hour. I told her from the beginning. I said, listen, y'all remember last week she wasn't talking to me, and I said, listen, whatever we do, we're gonna get on there for 30 minutes.
If I kill him, if we don't have another episode next week, you'll know what happened after
30 minutes, and then get past the microphone to her, and then when she saw herself in the camera, it was like it was like a Star is Born. It was like a Star is Born. And please. I just want to know that I just want to be able to get at least 15 minutes in today with the people, because the people want to hear. The fellow Ronell, I'm looking at right now, Ronell wants to hear from me. Okay. So they want to hear. They want to hear from me. I'm looking for support.
You've been talking since the camera turned on, so
I'm looking for support today. But anyway, let's get into why we started to do this.
Okay.
We did this because many of you, and I need to move that light anyway. I'm going to move that light in a second here. Let me move right now, okay? Because you're showing up a little bit brighter than I want you to show up.
Okay.
And is that better? That's probably better. And let me move all this.
I think this is probably something that's supposed to happen before we go live.
We did, but that's what we tell the people. This is real. This is real and authentic. We got social distancing here, which means that we don't have all of our makeup and camera people. It's us. I don't really think that's how it's supposed to go. Well,
okay.
I did it. I did the setup because nobody else helped with setup. We did all of this ourselves, social distancing, so we got to get all of this done and be real. So it's not staged or whatever. Now, so let me talk to you about why we did this. Many of you are at home right now, and some of you are probably, we talked about it last week as well. Many of us are like going crazy, just bouncing off the walls. Can't wait to break out of this shell. And that shell of being at home, being confined, or feeling restricted, whatever that may be. And we said, why don't we, we actually did something for our family that we have, our business family. And so we were doing a lot of business events, and we have what's called a streaming TV show that we did that's really worked well for us. It's well attended. And we thought, we don't, there's more to life than just business. There's more to life than how to get more business, how to become better at business and opportunity meetings, and said, let's just get to the heart of people. People need conversation right now. They want to, I think they want to feel, I don't want to say normal, because I don't believe in normal. I don't. I believe whatever you do, make that your normal, but people want to feel human.
Yeah, and connected in a way, because we're not able to be close in proxemics. I love what Annie said on the inspiration call this morning. She talked about how they named it the wrong term, social distancing. It's really physical distance.
Right.
Because, you know, you're still able to be social. We just have to utilize modern technology, which for a lot of people is good. I mean, it's not so good for me because I mean, I don't have a tech brain, but I mean, it's been a little bit of a challenge, but I'm actually happy. I know how to work FaceTime and stuff now. So, you know, I'm able to connect still.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, you do. And I think, by the way, if you've got comments or whatever it is, if you're on Zoom, I think we have some people watching on the Facebook Live, but I've got my personal Facebook up there.
On Facebook?
I have my personal Facebook up there too.
How do we see the comments?
No. Mark Kithcar is going to text me questions that we have and connect all of that. We'll answer a couple questions because some of you want to talk about some topics. And last week it was, you know, everybody wanted to talk about relationships last week. Mm-hmm. That was a lot of comments coming in about relationships.
And well, I mean, it's very important right now because you're having to be home 24 hours a day. At one point, you know, the time that you spent at work away from your significant other or kids was a lot of times your release and your alone time. But now we're at home all day. It's definitely a new normal for some people. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I can especially see how relationship topics is of grave importance right now, just learning how to talk to each other and get along.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. Well, you know, she asked me last night, was it last night or early this morning?
What?
You asked me a question. She asked me, she says, well, how do you think we've been doing with with this, not physical distance, the quarantine? And what was my answer?
I forgot it.
I'm here. I'm happy, but I said after this is over, what did I say?
I forgot.
You gotta go. You gotta go somewhere.
I gotta go somewhere.
Yeah, you got book signings to do and travel and all that kind of stuff. And you know, it's been good, but it's the confinement for me. For her, it's not a big issue, but for me, it's I got to get out of here. We got to go somewhere anyway.
Yeah, I agree.
But Mark is going to send us some questions. We also added, guys, for those of you who are on here and don't know, we added something at 7 a.m. Central Standard Time that is called Boom Fit. Okay, it's a Boom Fit, and it's for anybody. And I'm not here promoting it for our business, but it's just, you know, some people are lost and don't have something to get them going. You can't go to the gym. So Boom Fit, 7 a.m. in the morning. If you go to one of our channels, you can see it. And actually a couple of the people that we have right now who are training are excellent. And right now I am sore. I got muscles in places that I didn't know I had muscles that are still aching right now. There was something that Alex did, was called starfish. And that starfish move did it for me. And some of you been on there. So 7 o'clock a.m. in the morning, and I'll give you another one. Whether you're in business with us or not doesn't matter. But if you're looking for a morning lift, something to get your day going, something that's positive, that has nothing to do with selling our business or selling anything. Right. It's just something so people can feel an uplift. We have something at 8 o'clock in the morning. We call it an inspirational call. And morning inspiration. It's at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. And Annie
did an excellent job this morning.
She did.
If you're on here, Annie, kudos to you, baby girl.
Kudos.
You were so awesome.
You rocked that call today and taught me a whole lot. Today I learned a lot from Annie's call and just in terms of listening to where she was 5 years ago. She was at her bottom, and then how she climbed her way out of it, how her daily routine, she goes out on that Florida patio and do all of that stuff. And that was really, really good. So I learned a whole lot from that as well. So guys, have your family members, have whoever you want to chime in, be a part of that. Whoever it is, just let them be a part of that. That's something that's from us to the world, from our team to the world, people who are successful and inspiring other people around. So I'm pretty excited. I got my Boom Fit gear on today. You know, I got my, I'll show y'all my, you know, like I said, I got my stuff. I'm ready. You see what I'm saying?
But this is not Boom Fit.
I know it's not branded, but this is kind of what I'm going to wear
okay.
when I'm getting ready to work out.
Okay.
So I think I'm going to be, you got compression shorts, pants below them, and I at least look the part.
Well, I'm just happy you participated this time, because I just want to make you aware that just because you're watching everybody work out, that doesn't mean you participated.
Babe, some things are not.
I'm just saying, you got to keep it real. You can't lay down and watch the workout and then say you participated. That's not how it works.
Some things. Some things is not. For, some things you don't let the world know. Some things.
Well, I'm just saying now.
I'm not one. There has been a time that.
There has been a time.
I'm just saying. I'm being truthful. There has been a time that I logged on and
watched.
And I watched because I wanted to see what the exercises were going to be, so that the next time when she did them, I would be familiar with them. Okay. But don't put my business in the street like that, okay? Anyway, let's talk some stuff right now. Let's get into some today stuff. I'm going to be watching my chat here and see what Mark.
Do you have a question?
Oh yeah, there's a question here. HB, how do you keep reinventing yourself? I'd like for that question to be a little bit more specific. All right, now, well, here's the thing. How do I keep reinventing myself, or how do we keep reinventing ourselves? You know, we pay attention, and we don't get married to the past. Okay, I'm not married to the past, and I'll tell you this right now. One of the biggest reasons that people fail is because their memories are much bigger than their dreams. And memories is something that happened before. Dreams is something that you're looking forward to. So what we did is we start to make sure that we have a pretty good relationship with our past and our memories, but we're married to our dreams. And as things change, we change. We just understand trends. We understand new direction. We're married to our principles. So our principles hold us. So our principles are strong. You know, and so the way things take place in the world, those things change. But what we found out is that we developed our foundation first. And so our foundation works with us no matter what the trend is, or no matter what takes place, no matter what happens. And the other thing I'll tell you is this. It's not so much reinvention. It's just that we weren't one-hit wonders. And there's nothing wrong with somebody having success and can't do it again unless you're a teacher. If you had success, you can't replicate it, and then you start teaching, then I have a problem with that, me personally. Okay, I do.
Those who can't do teach.
Right. But when you learn the foundation of what your craft is, you just apply it with new technology. And so, I mean, what's your thoughts?
Well, it's more about your example. I love what you said about not being married to the past. I think truth is a lot like that for me. I feel like and change, they're synonymous in a lot of ways. It's something you should run toward instead of away from. I do think a lot of people avoid that. So the reinvention comes from not being afraid to fail forward. We've had a lot of significant failures in our lives. And
yes.
And the reinvention comes from how you begin again after you have a setback of some sort. Mm-hmm. So I just think we're not afraid to admit when we're wrong. We're not afraid to admit that we've.
I'm sorry. Let me. No, the lady whoever that was had a question.
You know what, Holton?
No,
you're not gonna start with me there. I was in the middle of something great right there, and you just interrupted my train of thought. This is what I'm dealing with during Corona.
No, I'm just saying, say that part again.
What part?
You're not afraid to admit when you're wrong.
What are you saying? I don't know how to admit when I'm wrong. Just expound on that.
You want me to expound?
You gonna grade?
No. You want me to? If you want me to expound, I will expound.
Expound. Holton.
Okay. Let the expounding begin. Okay. So guys. I don't know if this is your significant other, or or wife or husband or whatever, but I can tell you how she admits she's wrong. These are her favorite words. I was wrong, but I ain't sorry.
We weren't talking about being sorry. We was talking about admitting that we were
But
wrong.
that,
Two different things.
No.
Stay on topic.
But that's how you say it. No, listen. She will have done something she know is wrong. She'll come back in after about 6 months.
6 months.
And we'll bring the topic up. I was wrong, but I ain't sorry. And she'll bat those eyes. And then, that's how she does it.
But there are times I've actually done things that I'm sorry for. So I was wrong and sorry.
Which time was that? Were we together?
It's been 1 or 2 times. It's been 1 or 2 times.
Was I around?
You were around. I'm gonna kill him. I don't know if we're gonna make it through this episode. But anyway, what was I saying? You just got me all
You were
off
just saying
track.
you weren't afraid to fail. You weren't afraid.
I was talking about, the question was, how do you continue to reinvent yourself?
Mm-hmm.
And my point was a couple of things: not being afraid to fail, and not being afraid of change or the truth. These are things that you have to run toward instead of away from. Some of us allow our past mistakes to haunt us in a way, instead of allowing it to be a foundation. That's
true. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, because some people some people don't forgive themselves for their failures. I in business, I'll tell you this: my biggest failure, people don't know what it is. And it's if it wasn't for my biggest failure, we wouldn't have our company today.
Wow.
Let me give you an example here. Okay. I'll give you 2 big failures that happened. And for those of you who don't know, Earlene and I, we've been in the network marketing industry for, this year makes 30 years that we've been involved in network marketing together. 30 years. And somebody asked that question, how did we get started? I'll tell you that story shortly. Anyway, but in our first 7 years, we never made, success, never made more than $500 in any month in 7 years. So, but that was just building our core and our foundation. Now we own many different companies now, multiple different businesses that we own. We love what we do in network marketing because it encompasses a lot of people. We watch people's lives change. We're able to impact other people. And for real, that drives us. In the beginning, there was 5 reasons that I got started.
Money was all up.
And money was first one, second, third, fourth, and the fifth. I wasn't there to help people. I wasn't there to uplift people. I wasn't there to try to be your friend. I wasn't trying to get this positive mental attitude. I needed some money, and that's why we got started. I'm just keeping it real. But what happened is back in 2007, we were in a company, and we joined a company that was a travel company, and we didn't join because of travel. We joined because of leadership.
That's true.
We hated travel industry and network marketing. Okay. And
God really has a sense of humor.
I know.
We totally did hate travel.
We hated it. It was like, a matter of fact, the previous company had travel. We got it kind of removed. All right. Yeah. Because we're like, this is silly. You don't make money specifically the way travel was in most companies. You didn't make money from it. Sure. So we're like, let's not do it. And so we joined this company, and here's what happened. Within about 6-7 months, it was a colossal failure of a company. But what happened was that failure was instrumental because our next company, which was our coffee company that we had started and became distributors in at that time, was not around when we joined that previous company. Right. And had we gone and done something else, because we're not quitters.
All right, so the failure was an incubation period, basically.
The failure was an incubation period. And what I believe the universe put us there as a holding tank.
Yes.
Because when that company was almost done, the next thing you know, we didn't drink coffee either. And next, I'm looking at sampling coffee and asking you, tell me what you think about the taste of this coffee. And, there you go. 11 years later, over almost $3 billion later, of people who didn't drink coffee got involved in the coffee business. And it became one of the biggest successes that we've had because right off of failure. But what happened now is, from that coffee company, which we're grateful for, and we still have ownership, shares in the company. No dividends have ever been paid from them, though, in terms of the ownership.
So let's not even mention it, honey.
Anyway, but so what happens is we started a consulting company, and this was about a year and a half ago. And that consulting company, our first client was in a cryptocurrency industry, and it was like frowned upon. Everybody thought that we were owners of a cryptocurrency company. We were actually trying to get them out of crypto. We actually just trying to help it launch, because our consulting company, the way it was set up, we didn't need cash flow. We were in a position where we didn't need a company to pay us consulting fee. So our arrangement is that we come in and we turn your company around, and we take 3% of the increase of your company in perpetuity. And so, most people who consult, they need money coming in. And so they'll charge $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, $100,000 a month as a consulting fee, flat fee. When you're done with them, you don't pay them any more money. Ours is different. Don't pay us any money right now. If what we do works, you pay us on the increase. If what we do doesn't work, we don't get paid. Right. But we're confident in the ability to turn them around. So we did that. And we actually ended up putting about almost $400,000 of our own money into this company, just helping it grow, because that's, we felt, hey, we're investing really in our own company, and never made a dime. Colossal failure. People went in on us on the internet, on me on the internet. How could you be involved in this industry, blah, blah, blah. I don't worry about all that stuff. But anyway, big failure. But what happened is my buddy, Peter, introduced me to a technology during that time to connect to that company that they didn't appreciate. And I gave it to them for free. And they called me up a month later, said, listen, you got to get this travel thing, this technology out. I said, why? It's just because everybody's trying to utilize it. I said, that's good. He says, yeah, but they're not focusing on our core product. And I said, well, I'm trying to make you legal. Here's the answer. We don't want to be legal. We want to be profitable. And that was when we kind of wiped our hands with it. And next thing you know, that colossal failure, I'll never forget, she told me, she says, baby, when you're talking about that other stuff, I don't see you. But when you talk about this new technology and travel, she says, you come alive. And we weren't thinking about starting a company. And here you go. We washed our hands with that company. And
we weren't?
No.
We weren't thinking about starting a company?
No.
You weren't thinking about starting a company.
Oh, well, that's true. I wasn't thinking about starting a company.
I've been telling them since day one that he needs to start his own company. But, just like I said last week, they don't listen.
Well,
took years. Finally listen.
All right.
It's okay. We're here now.
That's the past. That's the past. But anyway, so I wasn't thinking of starting a company at all. I didn't want to be a CEO of a company. It was not my goal.
I understand that.
And so what happened was it was perfect timing, and we took lemons and we made this big ocean of lemonade, not just a glass. We made a big ocean. And just last week, I think our company, last week we were rated the fastest growing company in our industry in the world. So congratulations to my boss, because she says she's the boss of the CEO, and all of our employees and all of our ambassadors. But it was because of not allowing failure to dictate what our future is going to be.
And to dictate your worth. A failure is a failure. It can be brief, or it can be an extended period of time, depending on how fast it takes you to overcome that. And so we have never looked at our results as us. Sometimes it's trial and error. We have had to overcome so many things, even with getting drivers on the road, you guys with Vibe. It's been a challenge. But, And
I want to talk about that too, because in the middle of everything, we launched a brand new company.
We did.
A separate company. It's a rideshare company. And we're just talking out of our experience, not trying to promote that, but just the experience. Everything's like changed.
Right.
And here we are, on April 1st, we launched a brand new rideshare logistics company in the middle of all of this. And all of that, came off of failure.
Right.
So it's all about the reinventing process. What do you think about opportunity based on the times that we're in now for people?
Oh, I mean, it's the best time to be creative. First of all, we have a lot of time. So you're not going out to, well, some people are still working and a lot of people are working from home, but you have more time because, you know, when you think about the hustle and bustle of life, there's time that's invested in even getting prepared to leave the home. So, you know, that time frame has been cut down a little bit. And so this is the best opportunity we've had in a long time to be able to focus on your dream list, things that you've been wanting to do, researching, you know, new opportunities that are going to come out of this. Because I tell you what, I'm so excited. On one hand, it's a little bit scary. I understand. I don't want to make light of it because, you know, people are dying and, you know, so it is a very serious thing. At the same time, it's, you know, I get excited when I have an opportunity to approach something with a thought process and a mindset. That's what I've been preparing for. That's why we do the personal growth. So that when we're faced with a challenge and we have to adjust, the best thing you can do is learn how to control your emotions. I remember you and I were having a conversation. This was a couple of days ago, and I think I had the same conversation with Kim Bean. She, you know, she called me and she was like, you know, I've been, you know, thinking about something. You know, I was just thinking how many people in this world who are living in abusive homes or kids who are being abused during this time where their outlet was when they had to go earn a living or they had to go to school or, you know, stuff like that. And now you're at home 24 hours a day with your abuser. See, when you put things into perspective like that, those of us who are complaining and we have everything that we need. What about the single parent who can't afford lunch for her children and the only guaranteed meal that they will have is when they were at school? See, I was a latchkey kid. I grew up in a single parent home. I was one of those kids on free lunch.
We both were.
Right.
I was too.
So, and then some people say, well, schools are still giving out food, but how are you going to get there to pick up the food? Because you're being bused to a place. So it's all about perspective. And I think that, you know, being grateful is an attitude. It's a philosophy. And when you think about certain things like that, if you're in a home that's safe, be grateful. If you're in a home and you've got a refrigerator full of food, be grateful. If your lights are on and you're comfortable, be grateful. Sometimes you just have to have that conscious interrupt and be able to snap out of it and say, you know what? I mean, this is not an ideal situation, but let me get my good old self together because it could always be worse.
That's true. I mean, I'm going to say something. I'm going to say something here because I debated whether I would even share this thought socially.
Okay.
But I'm going to do it.
Okay.
All right. And this is why. Number one, we're not doing this for likes. We are not doing this for political reasons. We're not looking for election or re-election, and nobody can fire us from here. So there's no agenda. So and so the only thing a person can do is express their opinion and disagree or agree or whatever, right. Which I could understand that because we're not on here for agreement. We're just here for truth. We just share our perspective. When you talk about those changes, I can tell you this. I think I always try to find the good in a bad situation. Mm-hmm. And this situation has taught me a lot. It's brought me, it's made a part of me happier. And this is what
that's interesting.
I feel empathy and sympathy for the people who are suffering, people who's lost lives, who are ill and sick, and I don't take that for granted.
Right.
But and this is definitely not to be political at all, not because we don't air our political thoughts and strategies or philosophies. But for the last few years, for some time now, I got to be candid with you. I've been living in America for 47 years, and I started feeling like this was no longer my America. Wow. This is, I just want to share with you guys my truth. you know, of what I felt. I'm a proud American, proud. And I know we got people from other countries and you should be proud, but the climate had changed.
Right.
And it was difficult. It was, you know, when you're in your home country and you starting to feel
like you're not welcome.
Yeah, like you don't belong.
Right. Mm-hmm.
You're starting to feel like you don't belong in your own America. I've never felt like that in my life.
What do you attribute it to?
Well, I think I attribute it to a lot of the insecure, you know, people who will latch on to a particular message, whether it be religious or political or whatever it is, and just, you know, and just go out and just irresponsibly carry a message without understanding what it was about. I'll give you an example. Okay, I'll give you a perfect example. If you guys watch the movie Queen and Slim, if you watch the movie Queen and Slim, which we had a chance to watch that last week, and we always look for messages in movies, but Queen and Slim ended up, you know, shooting an officer and killing an officer who had stopped them.
In self-defense.
In self-defense, okay. And they start, you know, actually escaping. She was an attorney, and they were out on their actually first date. And so they start running because they felt, wow, here I am, and I'm just being candid, here I am, we're two African-American people who just killed a white cop, we're doomed, okay? And so when they were on the run, here's what happened. When they were on the run, people start celebrating them. And then this little kid saw them and looked at them as heroes, as if they intentionally tried to kill the cop. And that little kid took that thought process on. And when he was finally faced with an opportunity against cops, he shot a cop. It wasn't a white cop, he shot a black cop, just shot him because he irresponsibly took message and rhetoric that he had been hearing and went out and perpetrated it. And that's honestly what I felt. And there's a reason there's something to this that I want to share about it. But I felt that way for the last several years, just being candid. You know, you walk in the stores and I could just, you know, I could feel it was a difference. It was a difference. And I don't know, and this is not for anybody to comment whether you feel the difference or not. If you want to, that's fine, but that's not what it's about. But why am I sharing that? Because this reset button called coronavirus.
We're no longer focused on black or white or race, right?
Everybody now has come together on one page.
Right, it's a human issue.
It's human. And for the first time in years, honestly, I've actually felt like, okay, I'm back in my America. You know, I'm back in my America.
I mean, that was very profound. I'd really like to check in the comments and see if we have some other questions about that. Because I'd like to know what you guys think about that, and if your experience has been similar, if you have something significant on that topic that you'd like to share.
Okay, I just text your mom and Trey and let them know we're on. I saw your sister; she's on already.
Oh,
so
my sister's on.
Yeah.
Hi, sister.
Yeah, your mom agrees with me, so I needed to put her on the call. But anyway,
please.
So we'll get some more. But you know, I want to dig deeper on this comment while we're here, and this is a little bit more serious. Obviously, I know we joke a lot, and we do. Guys, if you're around our house, this is what we do. This is no act. This is how we are. If you ask anybody who's around us, we've been together since she was 12 and I was 13 years old. So this is what we do. But the other thing is, I think there's an equalizer that takes place. Some of us, we talk about the economic equalizer, and there is a big economic equalizer. There's major opportunities. I don't want to get into the opportunities right now. We can talk about that some other time. But I do want you thinking about that. I do want everybody who's looking at us right now knowing, you know, the world that you lived in 3 weeks ago, do you know that world no longer exists? That, because some of you are saying, I can't wait till everything gets back the same. That's wishful thinking. You're going to be behind. That's gone.
Yeah, we're on a new normal.
It does not exist anymore.
Right.
Okay. And so the other thing that you brought up, and I want you to talk about this.
Okay.
We were talking yesterday and about how the equalizer of racism now, those who have been on the side of subjecting their views of racism or classism or sexism or whatever it is, whatever ism it is,
any kind of prejudice, right?
Any kind of prejudice, how now they have a chance to really experience what it feels like.
Right, because I mean, we can talk about things. I mean, for instance, we can talk about the issue of racism. And if you grew up in a country where everybody was created equal, or you've never been in a situation where you have been discriminated against for any reason, it is very difficult to transpose what it feels like to be judged by something you can't even help. So I happen to have, to be the mom of an African-American male. My son wears dreadlocks, you know, he's an artist. So typically he'll wear hoodies and things like that. And
he just bought a grill anyway. I know he's watching.
Jesus, take the wheel.
A temporary grill.
But anyway, so
that's my boy though.
I often worry about him being out or being stopped by police, because that type of ensemble, people are generally afraid of it. And so now when you have coronavirus, all of a sudden people are not focused on what color you are, what clothes you may have on. They're focused on whether or not you look sick. So you can sneeze, you know, you're not infected by the virus. You just have seasonal allergies, or maybe you just was cooking with some pepper. I don't know, you know, and now all of a sudden you sneeze and people are treating you like you have the bubonic plague. Well, see, somebody who understands discrimination and understands racist or prejudice, they are a lot more sensitive to that, because before let me say this, I remember when 9/11 happened. And because of all the press that took place, every time I got on an airplane and I saw someone from Middle Eastern descent with a turban or anything like that, you know, here I am feeling some kind of way. Yeah. And you know, I'm ashamed to say that, but the media will sometimes have us discriminating against people. And right now, people of Asian descent have that same thing. We have got, as a people, you guys, we have got to be a lot more sensitive in that. And I think this whole thing makes us a lot more human, because this is something that affects us all. It's not about where you grew up. No. It's not about your religion. It's not about who your parents were or what part of town you grew up in. It's the same for all of us. We all have to protect ourselves. We all need to be sensitive throughout this experience, because I personally believe this is God providing a conscious interrupt and saying, you guys, you better get a clue, because you're all in this together. Yeah, because I mean, I think what you said is right on point, because people would, you know, people who it's sometimes difficult for someone who've never been subjected to it to understand it. Right. Let me give you an example. Right. I've never known what it's felt like to have been offered less money because I'm a woman. Or being made to feel like your opinion is invalid because you're a woman. Right. Or I don't know what it feels like to have been, you know, for somebody not to hire me because of maybe my sexual orientation of whatever I choose. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what that feels like. Right. You know, and there's people out there that they don't know what it feels like to have been discriminated against in certain categories. You know, we were talking to one of our staff members yesterday. Yeah. And you know, and you know, she's married to a white man. She's an African American. She's married, and they're great friends of ours. I mean, we met them through good friends, Edwin and Andrea, and they've been
incredible friends, but she was explaining that difference as well. And that what that balance is, but how it's now different because, you know, it doesn't matter who you are today.
Right.
You can walk in with your, you know, 850 credit score and your Brooks Brothers suit or whatever it is, and you sneeze, and they gonna look at you like you don't belong in here.
Right.
You know, we Edwin and I, even the other day, last week, we were at a place, and the guy, he had a mask on. We were at the gun range, and the guy sneezed.
Oh my God.
And they kicked him out. You got to go, man. And he's looking at them like, I come here every week. What?
Right.
But so it's, you know, I think the script is flipped.
Right. And I think it's a script that needed to be flipped.
Yeah.
You know, we all need to understand that it doesn't matter what color or race or religion you are. We all have our prejudices, and we all need to be cognizant that what's most important is the human race.
Yeah. What's
most important are the things that affect us all. And we have to have, sometimes you can learn a lesson, and then sometimes you have to be taught a lesson. And in my opinion, this is equivalent to us being taught a lesson.
Yeah, I think so. You know, I think so. Want to take some questions?
Yes.
Yeah, we have a few minutes left here. Let's see here. Let's start, let's see here. You want to read one of these here?
I can't read that.
Okay. Where are your glasses?
Somewhere. Child, read the question.
Yeah, put these glasses on. Don't be fronting in front of all these people. Let these people know you going. Yeah, she wear glasses around here. All that.
I do wear glasses.
Yeah, put them on. Yeah, there you go.
You both have brilliant minds, but your hearts are beautiful. So blessed that we get to see you both up close and personal. What other CEO and wife will allow us in the homes every week? I'm letting this sink in. Okay, we need a question.
Yep, thank you, Nancy. Appreciate that. All right, okay, here's one. What are your individual hobbies, things that you do to enjoy doing that's not business related, such as painting, gardening, cooking, etc.? You want to take that, or you want me to take it? Or both of us to take it?
Well, I have one hobby, it's shopping. You know, everything else is a distant second to that. I mean, what do I do for fun? I like spending time with my friends. I like to cook. I don't want to be forced to cook. I want to cook on my own time. What else I love to read. So I've always loved to read. I started out reading at a very young age, and I used to read romance novels. And then once
it was Danielle Steele. I remember all of them. Every Danielle Steele book that came out. I'm like, why is this girl in fantasy land over here? She got the real deal. She want to read these fantasy.
I love love. I love love. But then we got introduced to network marketing when we were in our teens and late teens. What was I, 18 maybe? Yeah, 18, 19. Yeah. And I was introduced to personal growth. And so that took on a whole nother life for me. You know, I have fallen in love with learning and with growing and trying to be a better person. So if I had to say that's reading is probably my most significant hobby outside of shopping.
Well, I'm gonna keep it real. I'm an extremist. I am. I'm an extremist. I don't have a lot of hobbies. I mean, I love golf, but I played, obviously, I don't want to get back on golf. I played last week because of the social distancing, because that's the only thing I can really do that I don't have to be all up on somebody else. And, you know, doing that. And, you know, like she said, we went to the gun range practicing some stuff. But I love when I'm working my business.
I mean, does telling me what to do 24 hours a day count as a hobby? Because that's one thing you do all the time.
Well, I'm not good at it because you don't do it. If I tell you to do it and you do it, then I will be good at a hobby. But if I say do this and you don't do it, I'm not good at it. So she's asked, what hobbies do I enjoy? That may be a hobby, but I'll enjoy it because I don't get a result.
You don't enjoy.
Well, I don't know. I'm trying to train you. Sometimes it may take 30 years. Well, we've been together 30 years, right? It may take. I'm not giving up on you. I believe you. I believe you can learn.
Okay.
Like you're gonna learn today. I believe you can learn. But I'll be honest with you. And everybody may not align with it, but I'm addicted to progress.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, do I read? Yeah, but I read slow. I'm a slow reader, so I don't enjoy all that read. I'll get my reading in because I need to, and I want to learn.
Well, you're more of an auditory learner,
Yeah.
so versus reading, you listen to audiobooks.
Yeah. Cooking and all that stuff. I play golf, but it takes up too much time right now. So I'm so into what I do that I enjoy it. So it's kind of like if I was a golfer. If I was a professional golfer, I'd be on the golf course every day because I'm doing what I love. So I believe I have found my hobby, and I get paid to do it. I do. I light up. Right. Put me on a call where I can be with some people.
Yeah.
And talk to some people, and something inside of me moves a person. That's what I live for.
Right.
So,
I mean, kind of like me with the parties and the event planning and the things that I do for women. Those things really drive me and inspire me when I see women actually, be reminded of their worth and go after their dreams and approach life with some confidence. That is really, it's inspiring to me in every way. And, as a little girl, I've loved fashion. I love fashion just as much as I love Holton. I fell in love with fashion the same year we met. So at 12, I figured out, I love things to look pretty. I like all kind of pretty paper. And so events and things like that is
just as much.
Yeah, just as much. It's okay, baby.
Well, I can't be like, I'm here and then fashion.
I mean, I'm just saying, because I loved you at the same time. You weren't even my first love. Mickey Mouse was my first love. Now, don't play. Well, you were like my second love.
All right, we got some talk.
I thought I was going to marry Mickey Mouse when I was a little girl.
You did not let me know about Mickey.
You didn't know about Mickey?
I knew about that other little boy you kissed.
Oh,
the one who works at Target right now?
Oh, my God.
Is he a manager yet?
At Target?
Yeah.
Please tell the people you made that whole story.
I ain't make it up. I think he's working at Target right now.
Get another question.
There's nothing wrong with Target, but I'm just saying.
I'm about to kill you.
I'm just saying. I knew about him, but I didn't know about Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, Mickey Mouse is my first love. I mean, ask anybody.
Okay. All right. But anyway. Woman. All right. So Tawana Houston here says, what tips would you have for building the business as a couple? What roles did you play to keep from bumping heads?
Well, as you can see, we haven't mastered that yet.
No, this is how it is. She works for me. She just got to know she works for me. And then rule number 1 is that the boss gets the last word. And if you're confused, go to rule number 2. The boss gets the last word. Rule number 3, boss gets the last word.
See, the issue is we don't agree in terms of who the boss is. So that's our main issue. I don't know who's going to
I'm going to be honest with y'all. I don't like working with her. I don't. I love living with her. I don't like to work with her. When we discuss business stuff, that's why whenever she's doing something like all the parties and stuff, she's the boss. I don't even want to be on the project because I don't work good when she's in charge. I don't like working with her. So I'm just being candid. Everybody trying to work together and all of this stuff and trying to be all kumbaya. We're going to get along together. It's our business together. We're going to do all this stuff. Y'all are going to mess something up. We figured it out. For us, it don't work. We started working together when I was 19, she was 18. We used to work at a place called Astro World right here in Houston.
We both got fired on the same day.
Why you be putting all the business in the street? We worked on the same ride. It's called the Sky Screamer. Okay, this is the one, it goes up and then it free falls and drop you. We worked on the same ride. We had a manager named David. He was 15 years old.
And you was mad then. You couldn't listen to David. That's why you got fired, because you wasn't even a boss, still trying to tell me what to do.
And so I promise you, we didn't get along. We got fired from that from that job. And I knew back then, we were 19 years old, 20 years, whatever it was. I already knew it was going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem because he doesn't understand that there are rules and that there is order to things. He think he can just do whatever he wants to do. Okay, we got a good one here. Okay. They said Woman Law was fantastic. Will there be a volume 2? I was talking about the book. Now, second question is, there's 2 questions. Can you ask Mrs. Bugs to share how and where she gets her inspiration for these convention party themes, such as the Gatsby and Wild Things? Does she and HB develop ideas together?
Well, I can't take credit for a lot of that. I have a fabulous team of women that work with me. And we kind of bounce things off and come up with the ideas together. I think the Gatsby theme was my idea, but I believe it was Venus who came up with Wild Things. Venus is our event planner, and Keisha does all of our logistics. They work together. So, it's really a team effort. And I'm so grateful to have them around because they get me, they understand my vision for a lot of things. And, I rely on them, heavily, but yeah, so it's just maybe something that I've seen before. I gain inspiration from a lot of different things. Sometimes, I get this question about my Instagram posts too. When I write about something, sometimes it's real time, but sometimes it may be something that I was inspired by, a couple of words or a sentence or some thought I may have had. And I have this little part in my phone of notes, and I just write things down. And so if something hits me one day and I say, oh, I just, I need something to post about, I'll go to that and just come up with something. So a lot of things I post is just, it could even be a mentoring question I got from the team, or, something that I had, a personal experience or whatever. But the party themes it comes from every direction, but mostly it's a collaborative effort amongst the team.
Awesome. And she's really good at it. I mean, I give her lane.
So you gave me a lane.
See, that's what.
Just look how you worded that. You gave me a lane. That's how you're gonna leave that out there.
Okay. I'm like, I'll let you do your. I'll let you do you. I'll let you do you.
You better watch it now. You on thin ice.
I'll let you do you. She takes her lane. Okay. Is that better?
That's better.
My love.
Thanks.
My love.
Thanks.
Okay. She takes her lane and she drives down that lane. She's really good at it. It's her passion.
Oh, thank
and
you.
I'm really proud.
See how you that's why I love you. That's why I let you be the CEO. Because you clean that up real nice, baby.
And she always over budget. So
listen, our team deserves the best.
Anyway, no, she loves inspiring people. And here's, and so that's her talent that she's got, that she just, it's the care, it's the detail, and it's the care enough to say, I want to put every ounce of detail to make them come and say, how in the world did they put on an event and my ticket cost was so little? That's the goal. And she won't stop until she feels that people are going to say, this was worth way more than I paid for my ticket. So I think we're out of time. I think you took up the majority of the time.
No, there was one about woman law. What was the question about woman law?
Will there be a volume 2?
Yes, absolutely. There's going to be a volume 2. We're going to call it Badass Woman. So I'm working on that as we speak. I'm so proud of that work. And for those of you who have sent me messages and DMs and have commented on my posts, I'm so grateful for the support. It's really scary to write a book and to talk about some of the most intimate parts of your life. And, it's tricky because, your experiences are intertwined with other people's experiences and lives. And sometimes, you have to consider that there is exposure on the other side. So it's not an easy thing to be able to deliver your truth in a way that it empowers and that it doesn't put someone else down or share a truth that another person is not willing to or ready to expose. So, there was a lot of thought that went into that. It was a lot of heart that went into it, but I'm so proud of it. Just the feedback that I've gotten has been really great. And I'm looking forward to the next chapter. That's the beginning of it, but there's a whole nother part to being a woman that we need to address and talk about. The woman law, the first one laid the foundation, and the second one will build on that. So stay tuned.
Awesome. Thank you. You took all the rest of the time like you took in the beginning. Oh my God. Anyway.
I'm gonna let you do this show by yourself.
No, it's from our house, not from my house, from our house to yours.
Because you want to do all the talking anyway. So anyway.
I think our audience has been I'm grateful because we get to share, we get to do what we do. Our goal is to do our little part, and we've had our hour is up with you. And
an hour went by that fast. Oh my God. Yeah. This was so great, y'all.
It's going by pretty fast, faster than what I thought. I looked at the time right there.
Okay.
But we thank you. We thank you from the bottom of our hearts for tuning in and allowing us to come into your living rooms, into your hearts. and to your family. And hopefully, you know, you get something from it. That's all. Even if it's just entertainment. We hope that you get that. All of us have a responsibility to do our part. And no matter how small you think your part may be, it may be the biggest thing that's happened in somebody's life. So make a point to inspire somebody today. Make it a point to let somebody know that you love them today, or whatever it is, and watch what happens. Because I can tell you this, when those efforts like that go out, it becomes more viral than any virus that's out there. Right. And we can cure it all with that. So thank you guys. We love you. Can't wait to see you guys next Sunday. Next Sunday is going to be incredible as well. We don't know what we're going to talk about, but it's going to be good. So with that, thank you guys. We love you. Stay safe. Boom.